Hello. So today we're going to be doing more of a forward folding sequence. So in the forward fold, um, you're stretching out the back of the whole body. So flexing the spine, stretching out the hamstrings, calf muscles, and they can have a bit of a calming effect. So quite nice if you want a more relaxing session, or perhaps to do in the evening just before you go to bed. So come down onto your knees and then come down into a child's pose. So either taking the knees wide or just bringing the knees quite narrow, sinking the hips back, reaching the arms out in front, or making a pillow with the hands and releasing the forehead down on top. So if you've got a block, you can always use your block to rest the forehead on. And close off the eyes. Just start to tune into your breath. So in forward folds, we're looking inwards. So just taking some nice breaths in and out through the nose, releasing any tension. And then slowly lifting up, coming up onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes under and just come back to a sort of half child's pose, half all fours position. And then start to take the arms, the hands over to the right, just finding a bit of a stretch through the left side of the body. And then walking the hands over to the other side, feeling that stretch through the right side of the body. And then coming back to center. So lifting up, coming onto your hands and knees, and just taking a couple of cat-cow stretches. So as you come into cow, you're sending the hip bones away from you. And that's more of a back bend. As you come into cat, drawing the hip bones towards you to round out the back. So just coming forward, sending the hip bones away. And then as you exhale, drawing the hip bones towards the spine, rounding out the back. And then coming back to your all fours position. So from your all fours position, just circling around as if you're in a barrel, allowing the head to relax, and then circling back in the other direction, just warming up the spine. And then coming back to center, extending your right leg back behind you, toes are tucked under, pressing the heel away, so stretching out the back of the leg. And then release that right knee down, this time stretching the left leg, tucking the left toes under, stretching out the back of the left leg. And then releasing that knee back down. Move the knees just a little bit further away, and then tuck both toes under. Lift the hips and come into your downward dog. So feeling that stretch through the backs of the legs, lengthening the spine, drawing the heels towards the mat. Breathing in and out. And then start to walk the feet up towards the hands at the top of the mat, bending the knees as much as you need to. At the top of the mat, taking opposite elbows, folding over the legs, just taking a little sway from side to side. You can keep the knees bent, or you can lift a little bit higher. You don't have to come all the way down. You can even bend the knees, place the elbows on top of the thighs, just finding that flexion through the spine. And then releasing the hands, place the hands onto the shins, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, and then folding back down again, swapping over the cross of the elbows, maybe starting to straighten the backs of the legs, moving the shoulders from side to side, and then releasing the hands, slowly rolling all the way up to standing, bringing the head and shoulders up last. At the top of the mat, just circling the shoulders up, back and down. And then taking 3 shoulder rolls, bringing the shoulders forwards. Heel toe your feet together. And then at the top of the mat, just stepping the right leg back behind you, placing the right foot up 45 degrees. You can always walk the left foot out so the stance is a little bit wider. And then start to straighten that front leg. Take the arms behind the back, finding opposite elbows, or maybe finding a prayer position behind the back. Taking an inhale, and then as you exhale, folding forwards, hinging from the hips, trying to draw the left hip back, right hip forwards. And then lifting all the way back up. This time reaching the arms up to the sky, or bringing the hands to the heart center. Inhaling at the top and then exhaling again, reaching forwards. Maybe folding a little deeper this time. Option to place the hands down either side of the front foot, or if you've got blocks, having a block either side of the front foot. Again, just hinging from the hips. Folding over that front leg. And then taking the hands to the inside of the left foot, start to walk the hands to the center of the long side of your mat, spinning the feet so they're parallel. Come on to spider fingers, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, fold over the legs. Allowing the head to relax, bringing the weight into the front part of the foot. You can always bend the knees, or again, if you've got blocks, place the hands onto the blocks. And then come back to your spider fingers, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, picking up the kneecaps, release the hands onto the hips, press into the feet, and come all the way up to standing. Take the arms out to the sides, and then wrap the right arm over the left, bending at the elbows, maybe joining the backs of the hands or the palms, rounding out the back, coming into eagle arms. And then release the hands, take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, reach the arms towards the mat, taking an inhale, and then as you exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forwards, bringing the arms overhead. Again, allowing the head to just hang, releasing any tension, bringing the weight forwards. And then release the hands onto the mat. So if you can take the hands in line with the feet, that's great. If you want to place them further forward, that's fine. Or you may want to turn them away from you, walking the hands through the legs, releasing the forehead down towards the mat. Taking a couple of breaths here, and then walk the hands back in front, lifting up to spider fingers, and then walking the hands over to the right side to frame the right foot. So hands at either side of the right foot, moving the weight forwards, lifting the back leg away from the mat, coming into a standing split. So trying to keep the hips square. The leg might be lower down or higher up, your version of standing splits. And option to release one hand onto the leg, drawing the head a little bit closer towards the standing leg. And then maybe the other, working on the balance, perhaps trying both. And then release the hands down, step the left foot to join the right at the top of the mat. Bring the hands onto the shins, lift the chest. Exhale, fold over the legs. And then root down through the feet, take the arms wide, reach them all the way above the head. And then bring the hands back to the heart center. Tuning back into your breath. And then stepping the left leg behind you, turning that left foot so it's 45 degrees, straightening the right leg, taking the hands behind or finding a prayer position behind the back, inhaling, and then as you exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forwards, keeping the front leg as straight as you can. And then pressing into the feet, coming all the way up to standing. Bringing the hands in front to the heart center or reaching the arms up to the sky. Again, inhaling, and then as you exhale, reaching forwards, hinging from the hips, maybe releasing the hands down to frame the front foot or onto your blocks, and then drawing the head towards the front leg. Taking the right hand to the inside of the left foot and then walking the hands back to center, so onto the long side of the mat. Coming up onto spider fingers, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, folding over the legs. Again, you might want to bend the knees or place the hands onto blocks. Just modify to suit you. Bringing the weight forwards. And then coming up onto spider fingers, lifting the chest, drawing in the belly, and then release the hands onto the hips, pressing into the feet, come all the way up to standing. So take the arms out wide, this time crossing the left arm over the right, bending at the elbows, maybe finding the palms or just the backs of the hands into your eagle arms. Breathing in and out. And then release the hands, take the hands behind, interlace the fingers with the different thumb on top if you can remember which way, and then draw the hands towards the mat. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forwards, bringing the arms overhead. Release the hands down to the mat. And again, if you can take the hands in line with the foot, drawing the crown of the head towards the mat, you can always keep the hands out in front, just working on stretching out the backs of the legs, or you can turn the fingers away, walk the hands between the legs, lowering the crown of the head towards the mat. Breathing in and out. And then walking the hands back in, taking the hands over to the left side, framing the left foot, turning onto the back toes, and then bring the weight forwards as you lift the back leg away from the mat, coming into your standing splits. So again, if you've got blocks, you can use blocks. And the leg might be a bit lower down, just working on lifting the leg a bit higher. Again, you might want to take one hand away or the other, or try your balance. It's not easy. And then release the hands, step the right foot to join the left at the top of the mat. Hands to shins, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding over the legs. And then rooting down through the feet, take the arms wide, reach them all the way up overhead. And then bring the hands back to the heart center. Just coming back to your breath. And then slowly just make your way down onto your seat, onto your mat, lengthening the legs out in front, coming into Dandasana. So flexing the feet, hands by the sides of the hips, lengthening through the spine, and then taking the arms above the head, hinging from the hips as you fold forwards. So reaching as far as you can and then releasing. Place the hands onto the shins or onto the thighs, lift the chest, find a bit of space, and then exhaling, folding back down again. If you've got a strap, it's quite good to wrap the strap around the feet and then use that to help you hinge forwards, especially if the hamstrings and the calves are a little bit tight. Or if you're open, you can always place a block behind the feet and then use that to fold forwards. Lifting all the way back up, take the hands behind you, just release the feet so they're flat on the mat, knees pointing up to the sky, and then just drop the knees from side to side, windscreen wiping the legs. And then keeping the right knee in, extend the left leg out in front. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Take the right arm forward so it's between the legs. You just want the right foot about a palm's distance away from the left leg. And then turn the palm away from you. Wrap the right arm around the right shin. This might be enough just staying here, or maybe taking the left hand behind, interlacing or finding the left wrist with the right hand and folding forwards. Breathing in and out, lifting all the way back up, and then release the right knee out to the side, bringing the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Take the arms up to the sky, inhaling, exhaling, folding forwards over the front leg. Lifting all the way back up, taking the hands behind. Again, just take the feet so they're parallel. Allow the knees to drop from side to side. Maybe just opening the chest, dropping the head back. And then lifting back up and switching sides. So extending the right leg. Left leg is bent. And you've got about a palm's distance, a hand's distance between the left foot and the right leg. Flexing the right toes and then reach the left arm up to the sky. Take the left arm forwards between the legs, turn the palm away from you as you wrap it around the left shin. So this might be your starting point, or the hands might come down to the mat. Or you can wrap the right arm around the back as well, finding the right wrist with the left hand and folding forwards. Lifting all the way back up. Placing the left foot to the inside of the right leg, left knee reaches out to the side or drops out to the side. Reach the arms up above you, inhaling, and then as you exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forwards, hands to the mat. Inhaling, lifting all the way back up. Bringing the feet back in. Again, just taking those little drops from side to side with the knees. Maybe releasing the head back. Just a bit of a counter to the forward folds. And then lifting all the way back up, bringing the soles of the feet together. Taking the hands around the feet, just opening the knees out to the side, lengthening through the spine. And then hinging forwards. Lifting all the way back up. Take the feet a little bit further away. Hands onto the shins or onto the ankles, and then round at the back as you fold forwards. Just maybe taking a gentle sway of the head. And then lifting all the way back up. Come down onto your backs. You can keep the feet in Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, bound angle, or you can extend the legs along the mat. Just coming down into your Shavasana. So you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. I'll leave you here, just breathing in and out through the nose, calming down the body. And then come out of your Shavasana whenever feels ready for you. Thank you for joining me.